Hello everyone. Welcome to another session with NiruStorm Gaming. And today's session is very important for every new budding chess player. So suppose let's take a situation that you meet a person from France. So what is the language that you will talk with him? Obviously French, right? Yes. So similarly, when you meet a fellow chess player or you want to talk to your coach who is teaching you chess, it is very important to understand the language of chess or the chess notations. Also, to read a book on chess or any article on chess or even to watch chess and to understand the commentary that is going on in chess, it is very important that you understand the language of chess. So let's get quickly started, and this will be a very short and sweet video by which every beginner can understand the basics of language of chess. So let's get started. So you can see the chessboard on the screen currently, and you can see there are these names written on the bottom of the chessboard starting from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right towards the H. And then there are these numbers written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right towards 8. So each of this A, B, C to H columns are called as files, right? So each of these columns are called as files, whereas each of this 1, 2, 3 towards 8 are the rows which are called as ranks in chess. So these are the first and very most important concepts in understanding the language of chess. The columns are called as files and the rows are called as ranks. So let's try to understand. So which is this file? Right, this is a D file, F file, A file, C file, B file, E file, H file, which is the remaining one. Yes, you are correct. It's the G file. Similarly, first rank, second rank, fourth rank, sixth rank, seventh rank, eighth rank, third rank, and which is the rank remaining? Absolutely correct. The fifth rank. So now that you know what are the ranks and what are the files, you will notice one thing. Okay, because of this, that we know what is the name of the rank and what is the name of the file, we can actually name each and every square on the chessboard. Let's take an example. Suppose we take example of this square, the center square. So if I ask you which file is this square on? So this square is on the D file, and which rank this square is on? This is on the fourth rank. So it's very easy to name this particular square. So this square is called as D4. Okay. So this square has a name D, the file name first, and followed by the rank name. So D4. Let's take an example where the king, black king, is sitting on. So what is that particular square name? Can you do it with me? Let's do it. So what is the name of the file? Yes. And what is the name of the rank? Very good. So it is E8. Very nice. It is E8. Let's take another example. I want you to pause the video and then try it out yourself. Write it down on a piece of paper and see whether you are guessing it correct. So tell me, what is this square? Okay, take your time. Okay, I think you got the file name. And now let's see if you can get the rank name. Wow. So let's see if your answer was this. Was it? Wow, fantastic. So, going excellent. Now that you know that each square has a name and you know how to name that square, file name and the rank name, and that's it. It's easy. So let's go and try to find out what are the names of each and every piece in chessboard and what is their nickname. Okay, so let's start with the king. So the king is has a nickname K. Okay, so the first alphabet of king is K. So the king is called as K. Let's go to the next piece, which is the queen, right? So the queen oh, sorry, I missed a U in the queen. Okay, so the queen is called as Q. That's again the first alphabet of queen. So it goes with Q. Let's go to the next piece, which is just a second, guys. Just a second. Okay, which is the next piece? It is the bishop. That let's try to find out what is the nickname of bishop. It is B. Simple as that. The first name becomes your nickname. So bishop is B. Let's go to the rook. Wait a minute. I have not missed the knight. Knight will come at the end. So let's go to the rook. So the rook will have a nickname. Come on, any guesses? Yeah, you are right. It's R. That's the first alphabet. And now comes our last piece, which is knight. Knight is not written as Night, but it is written as Knight because it is not the night where you sleep. It is the knight who fights. Okay, so knight is written as Knight. But can we call it as K? No, right? Why? Yes, perfect. Because the king has already taken that name and it is written as K. So a knight cannot be written as K, and that is the reason why it is written as N. Point to remember. Okay, now that we know name of each of them, let's quickly revise. K, Q, B, N, R. Let's do the other way. K, Q, B, N, and R. Very good. So now let's imagine, oh, but what happened to these little ones? Don't they have names? Or do they have names? So we do not want to name so many pawns and give them names. So these pawns basically are just named by the square on which they are. To understand this, let's take an example of this pawn sitting on this square. So if you have moved your pawn here, how will you write it? You will just write the name of the square. So the name of the square is the file name and the rank name. So it's E4. As simple as that. If this pawn moves here, the file name, very good, and the rank name, F4. So it's just easy and simple as that. Now let's try to write down a game, like the moves in a game, so that you will understand how to write the notations of chess while writing a game. Okay, so let's take an example that white plays this move and black responds with this move. How to write it? So what you have to do is you have to give move number 1, E4, and now it's black moves, so you write comma, and what has black done? File and the rank. So E5. Excellent. Now that you have written the first move, you know like how to represent it. So let's go to the second move. Let's not wait. So white next plays this knight and black plays this knight. Okay, let's see if you remember. So now it's second move. So let me see if you remember how is a knight written. What is the name of nickname of knight? It's not K, it's N, right? And where has the white knight moved to? N. To which file? F. And which rank? F3. Very good. NF3. And what has where has Black's knight moved to? Black's knight has gone to N and the file C. Very good. And the rank is 6th. NC6. Very good. I think you all are learning so fast. I can really sense that through this video. Okay, very nice. So now that we have learned how to write the game, now comes the question. What happens if one piece captures the other piece? So let's take an example. This knight becomes over ambitious and he says, I'm going to capture this black pawn. So now the knight has moved here and captured the black pawn. So this is the third move. So how to write the captured move? So it is knight and the capture is written as cross. N cross, which square it has captured. Yeah, that's the important thing. Which square it has captured? Can you see it? Can you name it? It has captured on, yes, the file name E and the rank name is 5. So as simple as that. Now how to read this? It is read as N cross E5 or N takes E5. So cross or takes. These are the two kind of like language that you say. So it can be say as knight cross E5, that is N cross E5, or knight takes E5, that is N takes E5. Okay, excellent. And now what happens is Black starts laughing and says, hey, knight, you became over ambitious and you capture this pawn. I will also come and capture you. And so this move is written as, yes, let's do it together. Knight, because it has taken, so cross, and what we have taken? N E 5. Excellent. Let me just adjust the window so that you can see. Yeah, is it visible now? The end. Okay, entire thing is not visible, so I'll just uh, maybe I'll just let me just write down the second notation only. Yeah, now the second notation is visible. So the second notation is N cross N E5 because the knight has taken the knight on E5. So N cross N E5. As simple as that. So whenever you cross something, you write it as takes or cross. So let's take one last example for this taking thing. So let's take an example of if if white plays oops, if white plays a bishop from f1 to f4 and then the knight takes this bishop. So now that the knight has taken this bishop over here, how will you write it? So we will write it as n cross bishop is written as b. And where was the bishop? Where was the bishop sitting? Yes, it was sitting on c4. Excellent. So it is very easy and it will become more easy with practice. So you just need to remember cross is the symbol. Okay. Now let's look at before we end this lesson, let's look at some very basic notations which you also must know. So the first basic notation is the check. So whenever you check a piece, so now what happened? White played d4, played e4, say white played knight f3, and black gave bishop to b4 check. So how will you write bishop to b4 check? So it is written as bishop, b for bishop, small b for the file name, and the fourth is the rank. And now the check is written as plus. So whenever you give a check, it should be written as plus. Okay, so do remember this. Check is written as plus. Okay, that's another the important notation to be remember. So check is equal to plus. And now, what if we directly checkmate the opponent? How will you write that? Okay, so let's look at this. So the game goes like e4, e5, bishop to c4, bishop to c5, queen goes to h5, and black simply plays knight c6. Can you find the checkmate? Yes, queen cross f7, and that's a checkmate. The king cannot take it because the bishop is supporting. The king cannot go here because the queen is attacking. The king cannot go here because the queen is attacking. So it's a checkmate. So how to write a checkmate? So this move will be written as qf7, and the notation to be written here is oops, is the hashtag. So once you write the hashtag, it means end of the game. It's checkmate. So always remember, check is equal to plus, but checkmate is equal to hashtag. So once you write hashtag or the hash symbol, it is basically the checkmate. And now there is only one thing that is remaining. In fact, two things that are remaining. So let's quickly cover them. So just imagine the game happens in this way, that you play e4, e5, nf3, nc6, bishop to b5, and knight to f6. And what is this move called where you put your king on the g file and the rook on the f1? This is called as, very good, it is called as castling. So when you do a castling and put your king under safety, there should be some notation, right? So a castling is written as 0 dash 0. Okay, but a 0 dash 0 represents short castling. I mean, when you castle the king on the king side, it is written as 0 dash 0. But if you castle the king on the other side, say for example, you play, oops, 1 second, let me just fix the pieces. For example, if you play d4, d5, knight f3, sorry, knight c3, knight c6, say bishop to f4, bishop to f5, and you go with e3, e6, and you go queen d2 and bishop e7 and long castle. So in long castling, the king goes on c1 and the rook goes on d1, and it is written as 0 dash 0 dash 0. Now what is this? Why 0 dash 0 is short castling and why 0 dash 0 dash 0 is long castling? So how I remember this is simple. How many squares is the king away from the first, like the first square over here? So it is one, two, three. So whenever you long castle, how many squares? One, two, and three. The king is on the third square, so we write it as 0 dash 0 dash 0. But we saw the other way around. If the pieces are like this, let me just put the bishop here and the knight here. And if the king castles on this side, the king is on the second square. So it is written as 0 dash 0. It's not just like the logical explanation, but it is just how to remember. So short castling 0 dash 0, long castling 0 dash 0 dash 0. And now comes the final notation that you must remember, and it is one of the favorite notation which we have, and it rarely happens, but when it happens you become the happiest person in the world. So what is that? So just imagine that all these pieces are gone out. Let's take them out. Let's take this out. Let's take this out. And this pawn starts a journey towards the king side, and he goes tang 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 and superbly reaches a8. And you want to convert this pawn which has reached here You can convert it into whatever you want except the king. So suppose I convert it into a, oh, I'm sorry. Suppose I convert it into a queen. So the pawn has got converted into a queen when it went to a8. So how to write this in chess? So you have to write it as a8. Okay. Let me just, oops, a8. Let me just make it small because you write it in a lowercase. So yeah, that's perfect. A8 is equal to Q. So always remember, whenever you promote a pawn into a queen, you write A8 is equal to Q. Suppose you decided not to promote it into a queen but to promote it into a rook. So how will you write it? Yeah, same. A8 is equal to, what is the nickname of rook? R. That's perfect. So now that you have learned the language of chess, you are good to go and learn chess from the basics of chess through various videos, through various books, through online sessions. You are just set for it perfectly. I hope you enjoyed this session and you now know the language of chess. So you can talk chess, you can write chess, and you can enjoy chess. Do not forget to like this video, share it with your friends who want to learn the language of chess, and yes, for watching such more amazing videos on chess, do subscribe to my channel. Also, we do live streaming of chess every night 9 p.m. So do watch us live as well. Thank you so much for listening to this video, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Thank you so much. All right. Bye bye, everyone. Thanks again.